Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob. You want to try that again? There you go. Clear it out. Say it again. Say, who are you again?
I'm Katie.
There you go. You've had it rough the last couple of days. You've been a little sick.
Yeah, I felt really bad today.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a couple weeks since we've recorded, and it's been one thing after the other. And finally, I was like, you know what? I don't care if she's sick. We got to record.
Such a jerk.
We got to get some nonsense out to the masses. We have to get something out there that a lot of people don't care about. Your sickness be damned.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm a night person. I don't go to bed early. I'm usually up way too late every night. And all this week, I've only had like 4 hours of sleep every night because I've been up late editing and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Well, last night, I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock in the recliner downstairs.
In the living room, and didn't get back up until 6 a.m.
And yeah, I mean, I did not budge. I mean, I've dozed off in the living room plenty of times. Mm. And at most, I may sleep in there like a couple hours. You know, if it's like nighttime. But I'll wake up. It's like middle of the night and I'm like, what? And I go to bed. Well, you fell asleep on the couch.
I did.
And yeah, we slept.
Both of us slept in the living room last night.
The entire night.
We have bought this big brand new house with king size bed, and we slept on the couch in the recliner in the living room. We're getting old.
I woke up at 6 a.m. because I heard you in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I had been asleep since 9.
I mean, like, not my alarm, but like my internal alarm. Like, I woke up at like 5:30 and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to bed now. And I got up and, you know.
You were being so loud, like right there in the kitchen.
I wasn't being so loud.
You were. What were you doing in there?
Loud. I went and got a Red Bull. It was time to get up.
My eyes opened and you said, you going to go have coffee now? And I was like, no, I'm going to bed.
Well, I mean, like for the past week, you'd only been sleeping like 4 hours and you had slept like almost 10.
Yeah,
I figured you'd get up.
Horrible though. Oh. I went and I slept another hour until Reese woke up.
Well, what are you going to do? Now.
Get over the staying cold.
You're right. Since you're sort of cold now and your voice sounds almost like you're living in a can, I've got a story for you. I had a very eventful day in our truck the other day.
What'd you do to my car?
I didn't do anything to your car. Can you just calm down for a second? Let me tell the story.
Like, I don't like driving this truck. I can't wait to get the Jetta back. That's my baby.
I really do want to get the Jetta back.
I want you to have the Jetta back to you.
So I wake up the other morning. It was like, I think it was like 4:15 is what I set my alarm for. And I took a shower and you did all the normal stuff. And I left here by about 5:15 maybe. Yeah, that's about right. About 5:15. Now I go out. I haven't told you the story yet, so I'm excited. A lot of times we tell stories on here and we already know them and we try to talk about them. And this is
oh my God, get on with it. I want to know what you did.
I'm excited.
What did you do?
So I left, right? Home, 5:15 in the morning. Go to the end of the, I keep wanting to say apartment complex. We don't live in an apartment anymore. The neighborhood, and I take a left, and I'm heading towards 211. Well, I go around this curve, and there is a car in the ditch. I mean, like, bad in the ditch. Like, tail end sticking up. But there's no lights or anything. Like, it looked like it had been there for a while, just because you could just tell that it didn't just happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I drove past it. And about a half a mile down the road, I'm like, oh, crap. Like, what if there was somebody in that car? Because it was 5:20 in the morning at this point. Like, what if somebody ran off the road? And there's no traffic on this road that I'm driving down at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's just not there. Maybe there's like 2 or 3 of us that had to drive past there. And I was like, what if somebody's trapped in that car? So I was like, oh, I got to turn around and go back. So I turn around and I start heading back. And then I live in this world of anger, in this world of like something bad's going to happen or the worst thing possible is going to happen. So I'm heading back and I'm just like, what if it's a trap? And I know it's not, but that's just how my brain works.
What if somebody wrecked their car?
Like, what if somebody put their car in the ditch and they're just waiting for somebody to stop and they're going to get out and take them? You know, like they're gonna rob me or something. I was like, but you know what?
They would be highly disappointed.
Yeah. Well, oh, you want money? Well, I have none of that.
If you find some, let me know.
If you keep an eye on patreon.com/the Bob and Katie Show, you'll know when we start getting some money, and it's not right now. So I drive past the car again, and I turn the truck around, and I'm coming back on, and I'm like, how am I going to do this safely? So I parked the car in the middle of the road and I turned the flashers on, you know what I mean? Like the emergency signal thing.
The hazard lights.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I get out and I leave the car door open, the car running. I'm like, I'm prepared to have to sprint my fat butt back to the truck, get in and take off. I walk over to the car and I can't see in it. It's too dark. And now I'm like, oh God. So I go back to the car and I get my phone and I put like little flashlight app on. And I go back over there, and like the whole time I'm just like, somebody's going to jump out, or I'm going to see a dead person in this car.
Oh my gosh.
Like I'm thinking all the worst
That's
things.
no way to start your morning.
You know, I'm thinking all the worst. Oh yeah, and it's 5:20 in the morning. I'm thinking all the worst things. And I shine the light in the car, and there's nobody in it. And there's a pack of Marlboros in the back seat. Like I'm looking all around, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, and there's nobody in it. And now a part of me should be like, okay, well, there's nobody dying in it. This is good. But then I was like, where are they at? Are they in the woods? Are they fixing to run out and hit me with a bat? Like, what's happening? So I turn around and I walk back to the truck, but I'm walking with a high pace. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get back in the truck.
You and your little bitty strides.
And I'm freaking myself out. I get in the truck. I slam the door. I don't even like buckle up. I immediately throw it in drive and hit the gas. And I start taking off. And like, I take off kind of quick because a part of me still like, somebody's gonna get me. Well, I go, it must have been 10 feet, and a huge bird comes out of the bushes and hits our windshield.
Oh my God. Like flying?
Yes. And now in my mind, I'm not thinking it's a bird. I'm thinking it's happening. Somebody's getting me.
Somebody threw something.
So I swerve really bad. Thankfully, I was only going like 35 at the time. But I swerve the truck all over the road because I'm just like, oh God, it's happening. They're getting me. But then it's within seconds that I realize, like my brain like reels it all in. Because I mean, I saw the bird come out of the bush. I saw the bird hit the windshield. It's just my brain wasn't catching up fast, you know? My heart was thumping uncontrollably. Like uncontrollably.
The bird done messed you up.
Oh my God. It was just like, it must have lasted at least 3
You've made a lot of
miles.
sound effects in this story. That's nice.
Is it? Am I doing good? Am I telling the story well? Am I doing it okayly? Like, am I bringing the listener into our world?
I don't know, but it's fun watching. Do the digga digga digga.
So the bird hit at the top left-hand corner of the windshield. It almost made it past. You know what I mean? And there was this big, like, greasy smudge.
Oh.
Like, I don't know if I killed it because it wasn't blood, but it was a wild animal that was in the ditch. So when I hit the windshield,
greasy wild animal.
Yeah, it just like, I was petrified. Like, it scared me really bad. Really bad. And then I went to work. Nothing really exciting happened to work. But then I had another, I don't know if it was an event. It wasn't an event. A thing happened on the way back home.
That same day?
That same day. Same day, another, it wasn't an event. I don't even know what to call it. I was listening to a podcast, and I got very emotional on this drive home. Anybody that listens to the show knows that I love Tell 'em Steve Dave, Smodcast, all of that good kind of stuff. Well, here's the thing about me and listening to podcasts. I'm real particular. I'll find people I like, and that's the only people I listen to. Mark Maron. I think Mark Maron is a fantastic podcast host, but he's the kind of podcast that he has guests on constantly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of time I just don't like the guest. So I don't listen to his show regularly.
You're such a podcast snob.
I am. Another person who's like that is Joe Rogan. He has one of the most famous podcasts out there. It's the Joe Rogan Experience. And I love the way that he talks. I like the things that he says. I like the knowledge he has. Like, he has a lot of stuff. But once again, he gets a lot of guests, and I just don't like the guests, so I end up not listening to it. I'll listen to like 15 minutes. I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this. Well, the other day, he had Kevin Smith on again, and I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. So when I found out that Kevin Smith was going to be on the Joe Rogan podcast, I was like, I'm all about it. Let's listen to it. And I started listening to it. Kevin Smith is a very big-hearted person, and he's very emotional, okay? And they're talking about animals, and they start talking about Scully and Mulder. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, X-Files? Some people are like, oh, I don't know what those names are. But if you listen to his podcast, you know that Scully and Mulder were actually dogs that he had with his wife. Now, he starts talking about these dogs, and they were, this is the backstory. What happened was he got his wife pregnant. At the time, she wasn't even his wife. Jen was his girlfriend. She got pregnant, and then they looked at each other like, hey, we should get a dog to try to figure out if we can be parents. Now, she's pregnant.
Oh, it's too late for that.
Like, let's get a dog and try to work out how to be pregnant. So they
my gosh.
They get this dog, and I can't remember if they named the first dog Scully or Mulder. I don't remember, but they get the dog, and then after a while, they're like, hey, we should get another dog to babysit this dog because the dog needs a friend. So they get another dog, and they named it Mulder or Scully or vice versa. It doesn't matter. And they had these dogs for like 12 years. Now, they were both labs. And traditionally with labs, if they live a full life, what you notice is that their back legs are the first things to give out. Mm-hmm. Just because it's that breed of dog, it's what happens. And he starts talking about this dog, man, and both of these dogs and how one of them ended up dying and the other one had to put down. And at some point, he even he got to the point where he had a blanket, and he would wrap the blanket around the bottom of the dog and hold the blanket up and take the dog for a walk.
Oh my gosh.
He basically would
lift up his back legs.
Yeah, and then let the dog walk with the front legs, man. And he was talking about how he laid with this dog while the dog was dying, and he starts crying, and I'm like, it's like, Jesus. And then I thought about you, and that's how it happened.
I can't be listening to stuff like that.
I was like, if Katie was listening to this podcast, she would start crying because we went through an issue like that with our dog, Mario, and we've talked about this on the podcast before. And then I started thinking about Mario, and then Mario died how many years ago? Maybe 3, right?
He died right after Reagan and Riley turned a year old.
So it's been 3 years, and I start talking about him while I'm listening to this podcast, and I'm almost tearing up in the car. So I'm driving home.
Is that the day I called you?
Yeah.
And I was like, where are you at? And you're like, oh, wherever.
We're home.
And you're like, oh, I'm just thinking about Mario. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, so that's what was going on.
I didn't even ask because I didn't want to know because I knew I would probably cry.
So we had to put Mario down, and we might get a lot of judgment on this, but we put Mario down.
I don't want to talk about it. Can we please not talk about it?
We got just for a second. We put Mario down the way that you do in the country. It was real.
Really, really don't talk about it.
It was real old Yellerish. You weren't there. It was, I took him out to my parents' house, and that's where it happened. So anyways, all right, I'm done talking about Mario specifically. Anyways, I was listening to this podcast, and I was thinking about that, and I'm tearing up, and I'm trying to drive home, and I was like, I gotta get out of this truck. This truck has been nothing but trouble for me all day long. If I'm not killing birds, I'm thinking about dead dogs. And it was a weird way to start / end the day. And then, also what this made me think about was, speaking of Kevin Smith, he put a movie out that I really, really enjoyed called Tusk. Apparently, maybe not a ton of people like this movie, you included, but I really like it. And what made me think about this was, in this movie, it was who was that actor, Justin Long? And the little guy from The Sixth Sense, what was his name?
Haley Joel Osment.
Yes. So they had a podcast, and it was called the Nazi podcast. Not like Nazi like Germans, but Nazi, like Notsee. And what would happen would be Justin would go out in the world. In the movie, I can't remember what his name was. But he would go out in the world and he would do things. He would interview people or go see weird things, and he would come back and he would tell the other guy about it. And I feel like that's what our podcast is a lot of times. You don't ever leave. So I go out in the world and kill birds.
Our lives are so boring.
Put dogs down and stuff.
That you come home and you tell me about hitting a bird.
Yeah. It's you're not going to believe what happened today. I hit a bird.
This bird flew out of a bush and hit our windshield.
It was very,
oh, the drama. You know what I thought about on my drive home? Our dead dog died 3 years ago.
I was I'm crying on the way home. I'm driving. I'd stop. I'd pause the podcast and wipe the tears out of my eyes. I was like, I gotta hurry up and get home because Katie's probably going nuts right now. She needs, backup, I guess.
Yeah.
She needs backup.
Reinforcement. These kids have been wild. Man, all of us have had some sort of sickness. Mm-hmm. It's cold. It started. Did it
That's
start?
a joke for just a few people out there, maybe.
Okay. Am I not in on this joke?
Probably not. It was a song from that band. I can't remember. It was called Sickness, and they started out this guy in the beginning of the song. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
This was from a long time ago. It takes you have to be real famous to start your song out with the singer going and it sell a million copies.
Yeah.
Millions of copies it sold. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
It started out on Sunday, which was the day we had Reese's birthday party. He woke up with a runny nose, and I'm like, oh. And that's like the law of the universe. Mm-hmm. If you have a birthday party or something like that, one of the kids, there's going to be an issue. And yeah, so he woke up with a runny nose. And then, so we've spent this past week, handing this cold off to each other.
Where were you going with that?
So the kids have been really...
It's late and you're tired and sick. I'm sorry. I get it. Go ahead.
So the kids have been really like extra cranky this week. And then I've been extra cranky and tired. And I don't know, they've been hyped up on cupcakes and whatnot all week long. Like, because we had cupcakes at the birthday party on Sunday, and Tuesday was Reese's actual birthday.
Yes.
So I made cupcakes again on Tuesday because he needed a cupcake for his birthday. And then my brother and his wife and their kids came over and had cupcakes with us.
We either had cake or cupcakes for like 3 days straight.
I know. So our kids, they were all jacked up on like Kool-Aid and Rice Krispies and cupcakes.
And we've been going, we took 3 weeks off maybe? I'm going to say we didn't do it on purpose, but like we've been dieting really well.
I didn't take no 3 weeks off.
This year. I did. I've lost 45 pounds. You've lost 30 pounds. Like we've done a whole bunch. And yeah, this past week, man, we ate cupcakes and nachos. Oh, so good. I'm sorry. I just started drooling. What were we talking about?
Kids being hyped up on party food.
Yeah, they've eaten a lot more junk food than, probably more than they have in the past year.
Yeah, and you know what happens when you have like 15 kids in your house and you give them Kool-Aid and...
You want to peel your face off and throw it on the ground.
All kinds of, sugar of every form.
Yes, you end the party and send them all home with their parents.
They all go into one bedroom to play. It sounds like the apocalypse is happening in the upstairs of your house.
It really did. We were sitting downstairs and it sounded like wild elephants were running around the upstairs of our house. And
I was like, I don't even want to know. I don't want to go up there. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. The worst thing that happened, I mean, all in all things considered, was some of the balloons we had for the party. They were those confetti balloons. They're clear and they had gold confetti on the inside and they were super cool.
I know what you're going to say and I was wondering how it happened. So tell me, okay, I'm prepared.
Somehow, and I thought about this when we blew these balloons up. I was like, if one of these things pop, confetti's going to get everywhere, right? None of them popped that I knew of till the next day. I go in the kids' room and there's like gold confetti
all over the place
in the corner. I was like, what in the world? But some of it was in a box. I was like, what is...
Like they tried to clean it up?
Yeah. And that's what happened. Riley said, my sister popped a balloon.
Oh.
And she had tried, bless her little heart, to pick up all this gold confetti and put it in this box. And then I think the box got spilled. So, but she did go pick it up. She was, it was late. She was like, Mommy, after I eat breakfast, I'll come back and clean it up. And she did. Bless her little responsible heart.
She's like you in that way. Like she's
so
big
very
about
responsible.
Cleaning and stuff.
Last week when I was like, preparing for the birthday party, because, I knew we were going to have a lot of people in the house. I knew I had a lot of stuff to do, a lot of food to make, and then wanted to get the house cleaned. So it was one day last week, towards the end of the week, Reagan was asking if we could do something. And I said, well, baby, I need to, I can't remember. I said, I need to mop the kitchen and I need to do, it was like 3 things. Mm-hmm. This girl, as soon as she finishes her breakfast, she goes and gets the Swiffer mop. And she knows how to put the pads on there all by herself. And this girl went and mopped the kitchen.
Yep.
And then...
3-year-old.
Yeah, 3. And then I think dusting the living room was another thing. And she knows where I keep the little Swiffer dusters. Mm-hmm. And she went and dusted and put it back. And then comes to me and is like, what else, Mommy? And I'm like, well, look at you. She helped me fold a ginormous basket of laundry the other day. Like, she can legit fold laundry.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't even fold laundry.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure she's better at it than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to go that far, but yeah.
But she's so responsible. She really is. And like, I hope that doesn't change as she gets closer to being like a teenager.
It will. It most definitely will.
But Riley, oh my God. I'm sorry. He's such a man. Because he'll make a mess and Reagan will be like, I'll clean it up. And he lets her. He's like,
okay.
All right. And I'm like, oh my God, you gotta do better, because I'm not trying to have your future wife blame me that you're a lazy slob. Like, no.
Do you know how long it's been since we recorded an episode?
I do not.
I just found a note in my phone for something to talk about, and it was from when we took the trip to Fayetteville.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. We left Bolivia and headed to Fayetteville, and Katie cannot drive 2.5 hours without stopping at least once to pee or like coffee or something like that. Like we have to stop. And I'm not complaining at all. I know what's going to happen. We've been married for 11 years now. It's inevitable. We get in the truck and we start going, we're going. And then you go, we got to stop and get coffee. And we stopped at a McDonald's and you pulled up an app. You ordered a coffee from McDonald's on your app. And at this point, it's actually on me. I'm like, oh, well, I have to pee. Because I would have made it, but I figured if we're stopping,
might as well.
I might as well go pee. So I was like, I'll go in. So we park and I go in and you order it from your phone and I walk up to the counter. Now, McDonald's is not really known for their great customer service. It's kind of like Walmart. You know what I mean? Well, I go up to the counter. I'm standing there and I was like, yeah, I had a mobile order for a coffee. And the guy goes, oh yeah, I see it. No problem. And I said, okay. I said, well, I'll be back in a minute. I got to run to the restroom. So I go in the bathroom and I go to a urinal. I unzip my pants, I pull my penis out and I start using the bathroom. And at which point the door opens to the bathroom and the McDonald's employee walks up to me with the coffee.
What?
And he goes, here you go. And I look at him and I go, my hands are kind of full right now. If I can meet you back out front, that would be fantastic. And he goes, oh, okay, no problem. And then he leaves the bathroom.
Who does that?
And I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me? Like, I have been going to McDonald's my whole life and have never gotten good customer service. And this guy wanted to give me such great customer service that he followed me into the bathroom with a coffee.
What? My mind is blown. And I'm like, ew, at the same time.
I know I gave you that coffee and you drank it. You tore that coffee up. Now,
if he was willing to carry it into a public restroom, God only knows what else they did with it.
The hardest part about this whole thing was I got in the truck with you and didn't tell you that it just happened. I was like, oh, we have to record. Like, I've got to tell her this story. I'm glad I put notes down. I wonder how many things in my life that's like something cool has happened.
There's so many things that I forget.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to tell her on the podcast because I don't tell you because we don't talk in real life. In real life, something cool happens. Nope, can't talk about it. Gotta wait for the podcast. But it was pretty great.
Well, I try to talk to you sometimes, and like the kids will be running around, and you can't drown the kids out the way that I can.
No, I can't. You'll be having a conversation with me, and the kids are going berserk, and I'm like, you have to stop talking to me until they go to sleep.
You hear nothing I have to say, yeah.
Like there'll be a kid in the floor banging and like screaming, and you're like, so I did my hair today and like I got these root things done, and like you're talking and I'm like, how is this happening right now? How are you having you're talking to me like it's a normal conversation, like we're sitting around a table at a coffee shop and these kids are going berserk.
Practice makes perfect, babe.
Business. Patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show. If you enjoy these shows that we are supposed to put out weekly, but we ended up not doing it for 2 weeks, and go to patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show.
I had a 5K one weekend and then a birthday our own child's birthday party.
Listeners don't care. They don't care. I listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave, and when it doesn't come out in a week, I get aggravated. I don't care what they got going on. Doesn't matter.
Well, maybe some people have some sympathy on me.
Maybe. But go to patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show and become a supporter. It's very simple. You go and sign up for as little as $1 and you get access to multiple bonus episodes. The video of you winking. Once again, we keep promising we're going to do the fitted sheet video. It's happening. It's going to happen. We're going to do it. We're going to get it out there. You know how we are. We put things off over and over and over again. But it is going to happen. We're going to do it.
But most importantly, you get our love.
You do. All kinds of love. We actually just recorded a Patreon episode before this one. So there's going to be a new one coming out this weekend. I think there's like 18 episodes, 17, 18 episodes or something like that.
I'm not sure.
So patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show. Now, there's something else. Everybody pay real close attention. Real close. We are going to place another order for shirts. Okay? We're not the traditional merch business. We don't just have Bob and Katie Show shirts laying around for people to order and us for to ship them out. What we do is we go, hey, we're going to order some shirts if you guys want them. So we need at least 12 people to go, hey, we want shirts. And as soon as we get that, then we order them.
Yeah. Ordering will only be open for a limited amount of time.
So it starts today when this podcast comes out, which is Sunday. I don't know, what is the date? We'll probably have it open for about 2 weeks. I know that we have already sold 4 of the 12. That's how I always know when we're going to start it. When I have people just messaging me going, hey.
We can order more than 12. We just have to have at least 12.
We have to have at least 12. And I think 4 of the 12 has already happened. So I'm telling you right now, we're going to sell the 12 within 2 weeks. When the 2-week mark hits, we just end it and we order the shirts. So you have to get with us. You have to order these shirts if you want to get in on this. There's 2 ways. Either one, you can message us, tell us what size you want, and we'll order it for you. Or if you want to, and then we'll just charge you for it whenever we get it ready. Or if you want to, you can go to our website, thebobandkatieshow.com. There's a tab that says shirts, and there's links for the different sizes. It's going to be $25, which is actually $5 more than we did last time. But the last time we did it, we ended up kind of losing money. We're not trying to make money off of these shirts. We're really just trying to get them out to people. So we had to go up by $5 just to make it so that we're not spending a ton of money.
We didn't know also that they were going to charge us extra for...
Oh, no. That's not, you know what? I'm not doing that. We are not like every other company because I grew up fat. And I would go to Walmart and be like, oh, this shirt's only $5. And there's this small print that says, oh, it's $2 more if you're a fat guy.
No, I'm saying they charged us extra and we didn't know ahead of time.
They did. And apparently we have a lot of people my size that listen to the show and it kind of hurt us a little bit. But I'm not doing that. It is $25 no matter what size you are, no matter where you are, as long as you're in the United States. $25 ships to you. So you can message us and we can take the money via PayPal, or you can go straight to our website. There's 4 links for different sizes. Just pick the one you want, order it, and it's good to go. We will order these shirts because we have enough orders coming in right now that we're going to hit that 12. So, and like Katie said, we'll keep going further than that in those 2 weeks. So order thebobandkatieshow.com, message us, whatever. It is what it is. Get a shirt. They're pretty rad shirts.
They're really awesome shirts. Yeah. I hate that mine doesn't fit.
It will. Does it fit? Because it was a little small, but you've lost a lot of weight since those shirts came in. Have you tried it on recently?
I haven't. I should. It was really snug though. My stupid behind ordered a size too small.
Yeah, it is what it is. So here's the next thing I want to talk to you about. It's not often that I talk about work because it scares me to talk about work because nowadays you hear a lot of people that get fired for stuff they do on social media and things like that. But something happened and I wanted to share it with you. So I'm at work, right? And this lady I work with, an amazing woman, like I love her to death. Like we communicate every day. We work well together. I would do anything for her. She would do anything for me. She walks up to me and like I'm sitting at a table and there's a lot of stuff going on and she hands me her phone and she goes, I need you to take the case off my phone. Now, a lot of people go, why can't she take her own case off? Well, she is a big advocate of fingernails.
Oh, does she have long fingernails?
So she has long fingernails. She didn't even take her case off. So she hands me and like, I didn't even think about it. Like if she asked me to do something like that, cool, no problem. I'll help you out. And I start trying to take this case off and I notice it's wet. And I go, why is this wet? And she goes, I dropped it in the toilet.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, whoa. Why do you tell me that? Like, how are you just going to hand somebody a wet phone?
Why did you warn me?
So, like, now I've got, like, I
Pee-pee
said
water.
it to me. I was like,
you got pee-pee
I
water.
was like, there's piss hands. Or piss hands. There's piss water.
No, you got piss hands.
Yeah, I got piss hands because of this piss water to cover phone. And I popped this case off. And I'm talking about there was water on this case. When I opened it, like water splashed out. You know what I mean? And it turns out what happened was she carried her phone in her back pocket. Mm-hmm. And she goes in the bathroom and turns around and pulls her pants down. And it fell out and went bloop right in the water.
I wear leggings a lot nowadays. Mm-hmm. I don't wear a whole lot of pants with pockets, but I used to always put my phone in my back pocket. And I'm telling you, every time I went to a restroom, whether at home or in public, I would always take my phone out of my pocket first because I was so scared. I would pull my pants down and it would bloop right in the toilet.
Yeah. So the first thing that happens after we get this phone open is she goes, please don't talk about this on your podcast.
Oh my gosh.
And I go, okay. And I even asked her, I was like, this is a good story. I was like, I would love to talk about, if anybody ever tells me not to talk about something on the podcast, I typically don't do it.
But you're doing it right now.
This story's not done. I typically don't do it unless you piss me off. Like if something bad happens, I'll talk about it without no regard.
Oh my gosh.
But like people in my everyday life, if I'll always ask for permission when I talk about stuff. And I was like, please let me talk about this. This is funny. I was like, you just handed me a piss-covered phone with no warning. I was like, let me talk about it. And she's like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I was like, okay. So I wasn't going to talk about it. Now, the next day at work, I go to leave. I can't remember if I was going to lunch or if I was going for the day. Regardless, I'm walking out to my car and she's walking up to the building. So she's coming back from lunch or coming to work or something like that. And she goes, hey, Bob, and walks over to me. And she holds out her phone, and it's got a different case on it or something. I'm not sure what it is. And she hands it to me. And I in my mind, I thought, oh, well, she's showing me something new. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, a new case, a new phone, whatever happened, whatever different happened because she dropped the last one in the toilet. Mm-hmm. And she hands it to me, and I'm looking, I was like, what's going on? And she goes, can you take the case off?
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm standing in the parking lot, and I'm like, okay. So I start popping the case off. And something wet comes out.
No.
And I go, why is this foam wet? And she goes, I dropped it in the toilet again.
Oh my gosh.
She did it to me again in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
Now, here's the thing. Inside the building, we were near the bathroom. When she hands me this phone in the parking lot.
So she's just walking around with a pee-pee phone?
When she hands me this phone in the parking lot, she's coming from somewhere. So I don't know what bathroom she was at. So... And I said this to her immediately. I go, you have handed me a piss-covered phone twice. I was like, this is going on the podcast. There's no way I'm not doing it. So that was my adventure for the week. I got tricked twice into holding a piss-covered phone. But you know what?
Piss on me once. Shame on me.
What?
Piss on me twice. Shame on you. It's something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Who's peeing on who now? What's happening? No, what's funny is, even with that happening twice, if she walked up to me tomorrow at work and hands me your phone, I would grab it from her. Now, if it was somebody like, somebody that I didn't like, I would like, don't get near me. But I would do anything
keep
for this
you
lady. So.
And your phone away from
phone.
me.
So that was it. That was my not see story for the week. Quote unquote, but that was my information that happened to me outside of the house that I brought home to you. My little gold nugget of entertainment that's just here for you. And now we're sharing it with the entire world.
Meanwhile, I'm stuck here at home with sick, cranky kids.
Now they pee on stuff all the time.
Yeah, they do. Still. Reagan, I have to tell you this. Tuesday was Reese's actual birthday. We had already had his party. It had been talked about. So Tuesday rolls around and it's his actual birthday. So Reagan, she's sitting at the table. She's playing with Play-Doh. And she says, Mommy, look, I made a birthday cake. And it was pretty elaborate. She had Play-Doh and they got all kinds of Play-Doh toys. Mm-hmm. Like cookie cutter, roller things, all kinds of Play-Doh toys. And she has different toys and they're stacked. And then she has the Play-Doh cup on top or something. It's quite a masterpiece. And she's like, I made this birthday cake. And I said, oh, did you make that for Reese? And she said, no, it's for me. And then she proceeds to start singing to herself.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah. It was.
Happy birthday to me.
It was the saddest thing. And I'm like, because I mean, like, they're about to be 4.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've ever had a sibling to have a birthday, and it wasn't their birthday too.
Now, this is also what else is happening. They're to the age now where they're starting to remember a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, stuff's happening now that they're going to remember for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And we have gone to a lot of birthday parties over the past 6 months.
Yeah, between us and, cousins, friends, like, it's like there's always a birthday.
So many birthday parties that last night, the kids, when I was laying down for bed, they was like, we're going to the birthday party tomorrow? And I'm like, no, there's no birthday party tomorrow.
They'll ask me first thing in the morning when they get up, Mommy, whose birthday is it today?
Right, so it's a whole lot.
Because it's always somebody's birthday.
And I would imagine at some point, they're probably like, why does everybody else have birthdays but not us? Because
They know their birthday's coming up, though, because Reagan told me the other day, their birthday is in September. And she said, Mommy, after our birthday, then comes Halloween. And I was like, heck yeah, it does. Like,
right.
They don't know months of the year and stuff like that. But she knows that after their birthday is Halloween.
Yes. But I mean, like, I guess, I don't know that they necessarily remember their 3rd birthday. They might. I mean, I doubt they remember much of it. So,
I don't know.
I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, they're thinking, wow, look at all these birthdays. I never had a birthday.
Well, and then Reese, it's like he gets to have a birthday and they feel left out. But it's, and I know it's hard for them. They're little. They don't understand. But my thought is here in a few years, once they're all older, it's going to be harder on Reese.
Yes.
Whenever they're having their birthday.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, it's everybody else's birthday
but
except for me.
I don't know. We'll work through it.
I'll have to get over it.
So we have some advice to give.
Oh, do we now?
Yep. I put out, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. We were going to record and I wasn't sure exactly what we were going to talk about. And I was like, oh, we'll put something out there on the social media, on the interweb, and we'll be a little more interactive. So whenever I put things out about advice, people should always know that I don't really mean it. Like, I can give advice. It's probably not going to be good. But anyways, every time we put it out there, we get a buttload of stuff. So this is what I put. I said, hey, everyone, we're looking to give bad/funny advice for real life problems on our next episode. What is an issue as a parent you've never been able to figure out? And like I think we've got like 71 different things to go through, so we're not going to do them all.
Oh, gosh.
But I figured we'd hit some of them. How's that sound to you? Maybe we can go back and like hit some more on the next episode. So the first one is from Lisa. She wants to know how to get your child to stop diaper digging.
I'm still trying to figure that out because, Lord, Reagan and Riley don't wear diapers anymore and they still always got their hands in their pants.
Yeah.
They just put their hands down the back of their pants and just like hold their butt cheeks.
Just hold them.
They'll be standing there watching TV, just holding their butt cheeks.
That's weird,
and I'm
right?
like, get your hands out of your butt.
What if you use duct tape? Like, you know how like you get some duct tape and you put half on the diaper, half on the skin and just wrap it around them. That way they can't get their hands down there.
But then you got to peel it off.
Yeah, casualties of war. I mean, that's a plan. It might not be a good plan, but it's a way.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What if you get like a spray bottle like they tell you to do with dogs? Like when you see me, like you squirt them in the face. No.
I know. I remember reading one time, and I think you read it too. It wasn't diaper digging. Mm-hmm. It was kids taking their pajamas off.
Yes.
And so what the parents did was they took footy pajamas and they cut the feet off and put it on them backwards.
Yep. So they couldn't unzip it.
So they could take it off.
Yep.
I mean, that would work, right? Mm-hmm. If you do that, they can't get into the diaper.
Right.
So
that's a good plan. There you go.
That's pretty drastic, but
yeah. So if you got a kid that's diaper digging, maybe they're pulling poop out. I don't know what's going on. So there you go. That's a plan. That's a good plan. Get a onesie, put it on them backwards. That way they can't get into the diaper, unzip their onesie. There you go, Lisa. That's some sound advice from Katie. Carly wants to know how to get my child out of bed. We don't have that problem. Have you tried ice water?
My dad, whenever we were kids,
here you go.
He was such a dad. Oh my God, it would make me. And to him, I'm sure it was just like, oh, how am I going to wake the kids up today? Because, my dad, he was up, went to work early, during the week, but on weekends, every so often, especially if my mom wasn't home, and he wanted to wake us up, he would turn on the stereo and turn it up till like the windows were rattling. He would take the, cube of ice in your hand and hold it like over your forehead until water just drips.
Yeah.
Drip.
It had to be aggravating for your mom and dad because you and your sister both, when y'all go to sleep, you do not get up.
Well, my brother too.
Out of control.
We get it honest. But yeah, he would do all those fun dad things.
Torture. That's our advice. Torture him.
Creative torture.
Now, the next person, Sarah, she went the opposite direction. She said, how to get my child to go to effing sleep. And now I already responded to this and I was like, hey, you need to get with Carly. Hey, y'all need to figure some stuff out together. Because she does such a good job of getting her kid to sleep, her kid won't get up. There's no trick to there's not like a wide open trick to getting your kid to go to sleep. For me, what we ended up doing with the twins, because they had such a hard time going to sleep, is like I'd get them ready for bed. And then I know this sounds really bad and we're going to sound like bad parents, but I watch an episode of the Power Rangers with them in the dark. And what I have found that does is we don't watch it unless they're laying down, and then you get a kid to lay down long enough, they'll go to sleep. Bribery.
Well, it doesn't say how old her kid is. I mean,
it doesn't. He's probably 17.
Age dependent. When Reagan and Riley were still taking naps, which they don't anymore, and I was having a really hard time getting them to go to sleep, I would play them, and I can't remember the name of the song. But if you go to YouTube and you search the most relaxing song in the world, there's this song and there's no like lyrics or anything. It's just like just music. And it's like there's one video that's like 10 minutes long, I think. And then there's like an extended like 30-minute long one. And then I think you can get another one on loop for like hours and hours. But it is it's wild. It is so relaxing. And so like I would turn it on my phone and I would lay down with them and like listen to it for like the whole 10 minutes. And it's amazing how well it worked. It didn't work every day, but it worked a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it was called if you search the most relaxing song, whatever.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's something to try. I mean, I was desperate.
Now, I got one for you that you're going to have to answer here.
Okay.
Hillary says, can someone help with her son's not pissing all over the bathroom? She says it's everywhere in ages 4 to 14. Like, what the F?
Oh my gosh.
There's nothing you can do, Hillary. Because I'm telling you right now, here's the thing that a lot of women don't know about men, is that there's different stages throughout the day that your penis acts differently.
Well, it has a mind of its own.
Yeah, like if you hold your pee too long and then you go to pee, it comes out real fast and it's hard to control where it goes. Another thing is, and this is a big one.
Yeah, but do you really think that's the case?
No, listen to this. This is one that could be possible. This is a big one. Hydration. If you're not properly hydrated, the inside of your urethra is kind of like a dog's nose. Like it needs to be moist a little bit. And if it's not, it'll kind of like stick together. So like if you're not really hydrated and you go to pee, your pee has to force its way out of the hole. And it kind of acts like if you have a water hose and you bend it.
Like it'll spray in different directions?
It'll spray in like 2 different directions at first until it gets going. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I am 32 years old. And still to this day, every now and then, I'll get some pee on the seat. Because, I mean, like, sometimes you go to pee and it has a mind of its own.
I don't know. I saw Riley one day. He went to go pee. And I don't know what he was doing. Looking around.
Yeah.
And he was downstairs and, it's a little bitty half bath. So, there's walls on each side of the toilet. And he had pee on the left side, the right side, the back wall, the floor, on the potty. And I was like, how do you have that much pee in your little body?
The big difference between a 4-year-old or a 14-year-old and a 32-year-old is that if I get some pee on the seat, I clean it off. That's the difference.
With Riley, I don't know that one single thing worked because he's gotten a lot better. He still has, accidents. Like today, he dripped some on the floor, but he told me right away. He said, "Mommy, I got some on the floor." I think he was pooping and it kind of it shot out. But there was a couple times where I would make him help me clean it up.
Mm-hmm. You better tell this story real fast.
I would get like a paper towel and cleaner, and you know, like I would be like, okay, you got to help me clean it up.
And then eventually stop doing it, huh?
I don't know. 14-year-old, daggone, they can clean up their own pee.
Yep. Well, I guess we're going to end the episode because the baby has decided to wake up and you're going to have to go get him. So we'll have another episode out later this week. I want everybody to have a wonderful week. That's what we want for you to have this week. And we're going to go get this child. Yep. Find your laugh.
Find your happy.
Wait just 1 minute. We've changed our minds. We can't end the episode. Do you remember where we left off last night?
No, the baby was crying.
Yeah, I don't. We panicked. We got out of the podcast room real fast. Had to, and then it was brutal. 2.5 hours of trying to get him back to sleep. So, anyways, the reason that we came back is
#parent life.
Yeah, I've got 2 things that I didn't get to tell you last night. One, which you already know, but we have to talk about it, is Desmond is coming out with a new song. We've featured them before. A song called Exile that I really, really liked. I actually reached out to them when I heard the song because that's sort of what I do when I hear something I like. I go, hey, can we play it, please?
Wasn't Desmond the name of one of the characters on Lost?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't remember which one. There was so many characters and so many plot holes and so many weird twists.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the guy. I couldn't describe it to you. It's been several years since we've watched Lost, and yeah, it's the weirdest like twist of a show.
What do you think would happen if we watched it again?
I don't know.
Do you think we'd get more?
I don't know. Like, do you enjoy it more or do you enjoy it less because you know?
Yeah. I mean, my problem with Lost was every time an episode would end, it would answer no questions from the previous episode and open up even more questions.
Yeah. So you get a couple seasons in. I don't even remember how many seasons there were.
I think it was like 6 maybe. I'm not sure.
You get a couple seasons in and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, just like that. She would scream that at the TV. But what were we talking about? Oh, Desmond. So Desmond has a new song coming out, so I thought it'd be cool.
Not the guy from Lost.
Not the guy from Lost. The band from where are they from? It was like Sweden or somewhere. Denmark, I think is where they're from. A long way away. That's where they're from. Anyways, I heard the song Exile. I fell in love with it. It was it took me back to like the 80s. You know what I mean? That's what it reminded me personally of. I know music is art and it's subjective. Mm-hmm. So when I heard it, my first thought, I was kind of thinking of like that music from Beverly Hills Cop. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm talking about? Like that.
Yeah.
It was sort of like that feel for me. So it's kind of nostalgic in a weird new way. I don't know. It was strange. But anyways, I enjoyed it so much that these guys are putting out a new single and I just felt like I sort of owed it to them to kind of push it a little bit just because I enjoyed their music tremendously. But after the episode, just like whenever we feature new music, you're going to get to hear the new single and it's called Cardboard Palace. That's pretty good. So you can find them on Facebook, the interweb. I'm sure they have Instagram, all that kind of cool, crazy stuff. But go check these guys out if you like this music. I highly recommend it. Now, I have one last thing I want to talk to you about before we, for real, end the episode.
What you want to talk about?
December 2nd of 2017, I was in New York City, and something happened. Something that it was very impactful. Tim and I were in the square part, the famous part. What is it called?
Times Square.
Times Square, yeah. So we were in Times Square and, it was like, oh, let's take a picture of each other, just standing in Times Square. Just like any normal tourist would do. And I took a picture of Tim and it turned out really awesome. It was a good picture. You know what picture I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then Tim took a picture of me and it did not turn out so awesome in my eyes because I was so round. It looked like the scene from Ghostbusters.
Oh my God, stop.
Where the marshmallow man.
You have talked about this picture so many times. It obviously bothers you really bad.
It does.
Maybe you should just delete it.
Well, I'm going somewhere. I'm not going to delete it because this is what happened. Like I knew then I was like, things have got to change. And since then I've lost 47 pounds, but we're going back. You and I in October. Is that right?
No.
When is it?
August?
August?
So we're talking about?
Yeah. We're going to the wedding.
Yeah.
Okay. So our buddy mine's getting married and, she's having her wedding in August and it's going to be in Baltimore. So I figured, hey, if we're going all the way to Baltimore, you've never been to New York, let's just cruise on up there. Mm. Now, my thought is I want to go back to that same spot.
You just want to go back to that spot and take a new picture.
I do. That's what I want to do.
That's all you want. That's like your sole purpose for wanting to go, I think.
Like, I figure if I continue with the trend
it's
that I am now.
It's not that you're like, I want to take my wife and I want to show her.
I do. I want to show you that stuff. I can't go up there with more than one reason. I mean, even more than the picture, I want to go back to the comic book store. That's not even quite in New York. I have multiple reasons that I want to go, but that's not even a reason I want to bring this up. One of the things that we have to worry about with going to this wedding, because you're actually going to be working, is we have to find a place to stay, right? Well, I found us a place to stay, and I thought I would tell you about it.
Yeah, by the look on your face, I'm not sure about this. I don't think you're about to say, I found this lovely hotel that's really close by.
No, it's not a hotel. It's going to be free. So I had another buddy who is in Baltimore, and he has offered to let us stay at his house.
Who do you know in Baltimore?
You know what? I know people. I got contacts all around the world. Don't you worry about it, baby. I got it. So my first fear.
I need to get back home to my children.
My first fear is that it is Baltimore, right? And so I asked him. I was like, "Well, is it safe?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's safe." He says, "We have a gun on every floor." And I go, "Okay." And what floor would we be on? He goes, "Oh, we let you guys stay in the basement." Now we don't have basements here in North Carolina because if you have a basement, it floods. But they have a basement, and I was like, "Okay, so how do I go back to my wife and tell her that we're going to stay in a basement?" But then he tells me, he's like, "No, it's not like a dark, damp basement. It's set up like a nice room." You know what I mean? He says they've even got an exit. Like you have your own entrance and exit. So we don't even have to go into the main part of the house. Got the bathroom, refrigerator, couch, bed, all this cool kind of stuff. So what do you think?
I don't know.
So there was another story he told me about his house. When they first moved there, one of their neighbors, used a generator for electricity.
Like all the time?
Mm-hmm. I guess instead of like paying an electricity bill, I'm not sure what was going on.
Like, can you do that?
I don't think so. So anyway, somebody put a complaint in, and then a big rock ended up through their car. Yeah.
Are you, and you're trying to talk me into staying there?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
Or are you trying to talk me out of it?
No, not at all.
I don't need no rocks going through no windows or anything else of mine.
Well, this is what I asked him. I was like, "Hey, maybe you could meet us maybe like 45 minutes away and we could like follow you there."
Why?
Because Baltimore, if you end up in the wrong spot, it could be rough. Baltimore's a rough city. But I thought it'd be a great like thing, like for the podcast even. Like go sleep in a basement in Baltimore.
This is getting more and more scary to me.
Not yet. I mean, it's not I mean, we're safe right now.
Yeah, we're at home right now.
I know, like we never do anything though. That's the point. Like this is, if we would get a hotel, we're not staying in a hotel in Baltimore. I would be like, "Hey, let's find somewhere on the outskirts, a nice little town. Even if we have to drive a little while to the wedding, it's like, I don't know." But then I was just thinking about it, I was like, this could be something cool. It could be nothing. But I'm like, we don't ever go anywhere. We don't ever do anything. You hardly ever leave the house. Now we're going to go to Baltimore. We're going to stay in a basement.
Like, let's intentionally put ourselves in this iffy situation. So maybe if we get home safe, we'll have a cool story.
Yes. What do you think?
Oh my God.
Now, listen to me. We're going to hit the road, right? Just me and you. We're not taking any kids or anybody. Just us. It's going to be awesome. We haven't done this in a long time.
I'm going to work.
You're going to work for 1 day, 2 days, and we're going to be gone for like 5 or 6 days. It's going to be awesome. Look, basement in Baltimore, comic book store in Jersey, Times Square in New York. It's going to be rad. Lots of stories. Me and you. It's going to be romantic, don't you think? How long's it been since you and I together have gone and done anything without kids? Mm-hmm. Do you remember when we were young and I would call you up and it would be like 12 o'clock, midnight. It was like, let's go to Myrtle Beach. We would get in the car, your car, because I didn't have a car. Or I don't know. Sometimes we went in my car, I guess, after I got a car. Roll the windows down, put some MXPX on, and
I didn't date you when you didn't have a car. Ew.
No, but sometimes we still went. I dated you in my mind. I knew we were going to get together long before you did. You don't think it'll be fun?
Maybe. It's really the flip of a coin right now.
I think we're going to have a blast.
I think you're scaring me.
Oh, you're going to get scared. I'm going to get scared. It's going to be great. Find your laugh.
Find your happy.
Empty account
This has been a Cabcast Studios production. For more episodes and information, visit cabcaststudios.com.